Hey, what's up? It's your boy Pedro here, coming in this week with another confession session with a very special group of people. We have a wonderful married couple who has been slow traveling the world, and this is Mr. Rondel and Apryl from Nomadic. They're going to share with us their story, how they got started traveling, what life has been like traveling, what it's been like traveling during this pandemic, and just some little insights for people who may have never seen anybody or people doing this sort of traveling before. It's very unique, but also it's not something that's totally unheard of, just not super common. So with that being said, welcome guys. Glad to have you in our confession session this week. You guys doing all right?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for reaching out. We're glad to be here.
Sincerely. Awesome. So I want to get the backstory. So how did you guys meet? How did you get started? How did you get started traveling? Like, how did all that come about? Like, did you get married and go straight to the airport? Like, yo.
It was organic, man. It was organic. And we met at a housing conference. We both worked in nonprofit housing in NOLA, New Orleans. And I saw her across a crowded room.
Yeah, so we met at the housing conference in New Orleans. We hit it off and we kept in touch from
Long
there.
distance. I was living in Michigan, in Kalamazoo, Michigan at that time. She was living in Orlando. And we dated for 3 years over Skype.
Pretty much. So long distance relationship, and we met up taking vacations, lots of trips together.
Tons of trips. So we got together at least 2 or 3 times a year to get out the country. That was our major kind of bonding point. We both love to travel. Like, prerequisite, you need to have a passport. In order for us to date, you gotta have a passport. And, she had a passport. So, we was out. Paris, Italy, Aruba, we like to spend every year, the new year, be brought in someplace in a different country. We like to bring the new year in a different country. So that was our thing. So needless to say, we got married. I popped a question. We got married. I had a destination wedding in DR, the Dominican Republic. Got married, and a year later, we was out. Got the hell up out of there. As soon as he who should not be mentioned got elected.
A lot of people started getting up out of here around that time. They were like, you know what? I think now is a good time to go explore my other options. So
why not?
I think what's cool is you guys were like for real social distancing when you met, because you guys had a bunch of space between you.
For real.
That's cool. When they say long distance relationships don't work, you guys are proof that that's not necessarily so. Yeah, that's awesome. So,
we weirdos though, you know what I'm saying?
And that's cool. So you guys were in the States for like, you said a year after being married, and then you guys had it?
Almost a year. We were married in December of 2016, and we left October of 2016, December we were married, and then October 2017
we were out.
We left.
No less than a year. But the entire time, I don't want to make it sound like we just up and left. We were grooming ourselves while we were dating online, getting our ESLs. Like, we knew that we wanted to live abroad. We knew that we wanted to get out the country. So I never bought a new car. I didn't get tied down with no car payments. I made sure I lived a kind of a light lifestyle so I can pack it up and leave when I was ready to leave. So
yeah, but he was right. Yeah, we got our Tesla certification before we even left. We were trying to think of ways to make money remotely, so that we could have that option when we wanted to move abroad. And I think maybe a few months into our marriage, we had already started applying for teaching positions in China, in
Hong Kong,
Thailand, a few different places.
Korea,
Japan.
all that. Yeah.
Now break down that certification for the people who've never heard of that before. You said TESL, TESL and FL, right?
Right, there's a TEFL there. TESL is teaching English to students of other languages. TEFL is teaching English as a foreign language. So pretty much just teaching English to non-native speakers.
So you guys were not teachers prior to. You were basically prepping for this next journey, got your certification. So
taking the next step. We did that all online. Got that mug through Groupon for $35.
No, I saw that a while ago. I was like, man, I think I should get that for me and my daughters and just have it like just in case.
Just have it, yeah.
Why not? That really worked for us. So we got the certifications, and my man got elected. I was just like, I guess it's time, baby. Let's go. She's like, let's go. We sold everything. Got a couple of apps. What was his name? those apps?
There's an app called
Let It Go,
and there's another app. We just kind of sold everything
had a
or
fire
gave
sale,
it away.
TVs, cars, bikes, everything. We just sold everything.
So how did you pick your first destination? Like where you guys were actually headed to first? How did that choice get made?
We based it off of who offered us teaching positions and
that we wanted, who offered us the right hours and the right, because we were teaching online. We made decent coin teaching online, and our desire was to start some other businesses. So we didn't want to work all day, every day. We only wanted a part-time job.
Yeah, and China has some jobs like that where you will be working like 6 days a week from sun up to sundown. But we accepted a teaching position at Wuhan University of Science and Technology. We were only working a few classes a week. It was very part-time, so we had lots of time to just kind of do other things too.
So you guys are in the infamous Wuhan, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wuhan, yes.
Wuhan, Central China. So
what was that like? Because now
we thought we wanted an authentic Chinese experience.
Right. We don't want to be around anybody that speaks English. Let's go. Let's get the culture, baby. We got to get to understand the people.
We didn't know. We didn't know.
Was that him or was that you? That was you? That was your
That was me. That was
we both wanted. We were like, we don't want to be in the overly touristy area.
Nobody wants to be in Beijing. I want to experience the real China. Man,
it was too much.
It was too much, bro. It was too much.
Too authentic.
Yeah. So Wuhan is China itself is just a complete kind of cultural inverse of what we're used to. So I don't want to crap on them. So Wuhan was a different experience. We were, black. They were not accustomed to seeing people of color at all. So everywhere we went, we just had the oogling eyes. We're on the elevator, people looking at you like this.
Yeah, really close.
Everybody
really
trying to take pictures. She could take pictures.
Yeah, we had one person. He said he was in an elevator once.
Yeah,
there's one other person in the elevator, and that guy is like pretending
to text,
to use their phone.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the pervy guy in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of. At first it's really interesting because you're not used to the attention and these people are not used to seeing you. So lots of pictures, lots of pointing. Sometimes you get like faces of like just confusion or disgust. So that's interesting.
And lots of people want to touch the hair, man. Everybody, they love some dreads and your hair, right?
Yeah. So it was really interesting and you get tired. You get tired of it.
But it was cool. It was good. I'm glad we had the experience. You know what I'm saying? It was a cool experience. I really loved the students. We taught at the university and a big hustle for China. So we taught, what do you call that? Primary school children also. And everybody wants to learn English. So it's really, once you get your foot in the actual country, it's illegal to do, but everybody do it. That's how we were able to bank all the money we made at the university. Taught one class on the weekend to a group of students, to like 6 or 7 students, and that's the money that we lived off of. You know what I'm saying? So that was better. We were able to save a lot of money in China.
But definitely the students were our favorite part of the entire experience.
Thought I was gonna get down there and enjoy some authentic Chinese food.
You weren't feeling it.
No, bro.
We think we know what Chinese food is.
No, I was praising God when I found a KFC.
KFCs and Burger King are like, oh my God. When I see that, it's like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, and usually we don't eat like the chain food like that. But that was our saving grace.
China's shoe, bro. I ordered something off the menu. So I didn't speak the language. I still don't speak the language. There were a few words. So every time we order, it's kind of like shots in the dark. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff that will come on the plate, bruh.
Yeah.
We tried. We found some good things. We cooked a lot ourselves. So we definitely went out and got fresh produce, which was everywhere, and that was great.
But I love the cheese, man. That's the cheese, all the herbs and the medicinal little herbs that they have to go in the cheese and the berries and stuff. Man, that stuff is so delicious. Man, that's something I do miss. The children and the cheese.
So would you guys ever go back to China?
No.
No?
I have an experience. We went through, so we work for the university. The university is all universities are owned by the government. Right. So pretty much we work for the government. And like you have to use the VPN to use the internet now. right?
Right.
We're trying to run an online business, and we could not. We went through hell just trying to watch Netflix, and we would go to war pretty much. They do something, so I run my VPN through another router and do all this other stuff. We'd be going to war, and they'd be blocking me. One day, I had 2 different VPN services. I woke up in the morning, and somehow they were able to log onto my computer and take off my VPN. They took the VPN off of my computer.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm out. That ain't, and they have the right to come into your home and seize your property and all this other kind of stuff. When we moved there was cameras set up everywhere, and there was no camera outside of our house. Now we have then like about a month in, 2 months in, all of a sudden there's a camera outside of our house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
they were watching y'all.
I would go back. I would go back to visit a few places. Like, we never got to go to Shanghai. I would love to see the Terracotta Warriors in Xi'an. Like, there are still some places I'd go visit. But to live...
When they break the green firewall down, then I'll go through. And that's going to be a hard sell, baby. I'm just letting you know.
Man, the first time I went to China, I absolutely hated it. I was like, this place is horrible. It's smog everywhere. I actually went to Beijing like on one of the worst smog weeks that they had. It was so bad that they actually were out of school. They're used to it, but it was like that bad. And I was like, man, I hate this place. People are rude, spitting everywhere, coughing everywhere. Like, it was just crazy. And I went back, and then I think because then I knew what to expect. And so it was a little bit easier to navigate. Like, I already knew I won't get any personal space. You can't leave any space in line because they're going to like cut right in front of you.
Bro, that's another thing. I had to buck up a couple times.
I'm like, so I couldn't take it personal because I saw them doing it to one another. I'm like, okay, so this is just how y'all roll. Like, okay, so try to brace yourself for it. But I'll say give it another try because I went back. I actually love it. I had planned to get a 10-year visa to keep going, but then all this stuff kind of happened. So, and it's not that I won't go back. I'm just kind of pumping the brakes. Like, yeah, let's let this.
It's interesting.
For quite a while.
Because the culture, we still teach children in China, and we noticed at the break of the New Year, Chinese New Year, the end of December, the children were getting out for school, and COVID-19 struck it hard, right? And they put out a video when one of the first weeks, it was like the last week in December. We took a bus to go to our university every day. And on that bus, somebody is always coughing. Somebody is always hawking. There's always something happening, right?
It's a deep cough. Like
deep, brother, deep from their soul, you know what I'm saying? And the police were looking for everybody that was on this particular bus because one person was coughing on the bus, and that person had coronavirus. I was like, wow, that's strange. But then we just started seeing everything happen. Our children were telling us everything they were going through, said that they blocked off the city, they blocked off all of Wuhan, how they couldn't go outside. And we just started getting little mental images of everything that was going on inside of China because we were teaching children that were there and going through it. So we kind of saw this coming, you know what I'm saying? Right. We were just kind of looking at with the bird's eye view, everything happened. Like, man, I hope this doesn't make it to America, but of course it did.
So now that's interesting. So you guys were kind of looking with a direct lens through your students. How far in advance were you seeing it there versus when they started report? And I don't know how quickly you guys get American news down there in Mexico. So like, how soon did you actually start seeing it through your students and then start seeing it on our media and then like the media in Mexico?
I would say definitely the end of December, beginning of January is when we started seeing a lot from our students, and our students just talking about how, it's not good, they can't go outside. They really started getting cabin fever, and they're talking about the ones who I guess could articulate, well enough. They would talk about how some people are being boarded up in their houses and just how like they can't go anywhere and they're really sad. They can't go to school. They can't go outside. So, and
me with my narrow lens, like the government, like I have this narrow view of the government of China. I'm like, that's fair. You know how they do. I'm glad we got out of there, baby. But it turns out, what I'm saying? This thing is just deadly. It's very, very deadly, and that's the appropriate response.
I think also I still have WeChat from being in China, and so I was able to kind of look and scroll through, talk to our past students.
WeChat is China's version of like Facebook or Twitter. So.
Yeah, it's their
WeChat is like everything.
It's in every right. They do everything. They pay.
It's your wallet.
Yeah.
Right. It's
go to the movies with it. Everything.
You check your blood pressure on there.
Yes. So that was interesting, like just seeing from university students, things that they were posting about what was happening and how they were sending lots of prayers and stuff for the nurses, the doctors. A lot of people at the time were posting about the one doctor. He was the first doctor who
the one
kind
that
of
blew the whistle. Yeah, man.
On it all. And then he
all of a sudden turned up dead. Yeah,
right.
man.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. But yeah, just seeing it kind of through our little computer screen while we were having.
It was about a 2-month lag between what happened in China and then things that started happening in Italy and then the United States. And here, we're running about 2 weeks behind the U.S., Merida is, in regards to kind of cases and our response to everything that's going on. In fact, when Trump and what's the president's name, when they decided to shut the border down, I was ecstatic. I was very, very happy. You know what I'm saying? Keep y'all, y'all stay over there till y'all get better before you come over here.
Right.
Currently in the Yucatan, 14. We have 14 cases. So the response here has been quick. So, and how can I put it?
Well, let's say it this way. The Yucatan is like one of the states of Mexico, and we are in the state of the Yucatan in the city Merida. And the governor here has been really on top of preparing for what's happening. The president of Mexico, on the other hand, has just been, I don't know.
Aloof, negligent. I don't know what
even as recent as like a month ago, he was touring around Oaxaca, kissing people, giving
on
hugs,
a hugging campaign,
and telling people, keep going to restaurants. You don't have to stay home. Keep supporting the economy. Keep going out. And I was like,
him and one of the other governors of Puebla, am I saying that right? Puebla. And we're saying they even went on a book saying that it was a rich person's disease. Poor people can't catch the disease. It was just a lot of ignorance, man. It was a lot of ignorance.
But aside from that, the governor of the Yucatan, he has been on top of it.
I love it.
Schools closed like almost a month and a half ago. Maybe around the same time that they were shutting in the U.S. And we hadn't even experienced any cases here yet. But he was like, nope, we're shutting down.
We'll shut it down. They closed the gyms. They shut our gym down. Shoot, they stopped selling alcohol.
They did. Yeah.
So, liquor stores are considered essential. So, like.
Me too, bro. I had to make a run. And stock up.
They don't think so. So they closed, they stopped the sale of alcohol maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's through the 30th.
April 30th. They think that's when we'll hit our peak. But, you see the people are all practicing social distancing outside of bank. There are no lines in banks. All lines have to be formed outside. Only one person in the grocery store at a time.
Not one person at a time. In the grocery store?
And when we went to Costco, you had to stay outside.
In Costco, yes. The smaller grocery stores, they're fine. But Costco, yeah. If you come as...
In big Costco?
Yeah. Yeah, there's like 4 Sam's Clubs.
It's like 4 Sam's Clubs, a gigantic Costco. Yeah, man, this ain't the country. You know what I'm saying? Anything, and we're so close to America. Now I didn't see a Costco. We had something similar, Costco-esque in Medellin. Yeah. But this is the first place we've been where it's a humongous Costco and tons of Sam's Clubs.
I don't know why. But yeah, Costco, if you came as a family, only one person from that family was allowed into the store. So
wow,
I waited outside.
What does that look like from a border standpoint? Do they shut down the airport totally? Like just no incoming or outgoing flights?
No. So that's my only problem with Mexico. Mexico has not shut down the airports. The airports are still busy. And that's, as you know, like almost how coronavirus gets into a country is through the airports. So our airports are busy, but they are extra slow, which to me is more, it's a, what do you call that? When you're backed up in line, it's a bottleneck at the airports because everybody has to get tested. Well, but if you got in that close of quarters with people, you know what I'm saying? We had a trip planned to Guadalajara, and we just canceled that trip because there was no way we're going to be at an airport with a whole bunch of people going through the rigmarole of getting on and off planes.
So are they not seeing like a slowdown in air travel? Because like here, our airport's like 94, 95% empty. Flights are down 94, 95%. Is that not the case there?
So we haven't been to the airport here, and just hearsay from someone who, like an associate, they recently flew out of Mexico City to Atlanta, and apparently they shared that the Mexico City airport was still packed and busy. Like the only place closed was a Starbucks, but it was like any other regular day.
Since we got to Atlanta, it was just like
Atlanta's
there in the airport. You know what I'm saying? It was a ghost town.
Yeah, it's like a ghost town here. I've been traveling domestically, kind of documenting because I don't really trust the media. Plus, this is just like unprecedented, and I'm like, it's gonna be in history books, kind of like the Great Depression. I pray to God economically we don't go in that direction, but I'm like, I want to see what this looks like. And so I was flying, at the airports. When I tell you, out of 300 stores, like 5 were open. It's like insane. I'm on flights with like 17 people, 23 people. On a seat, 180.
Times we living in, man. This is amazing. I mean, just from a historic standpoint, this is amazing. The whole world is taking the time out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had to sit the F down for a minute, I don't know about I don't know if there'll be any it's also interesting that the planet is healing though, right? So all this pollution that's been all everywhere has been dropping. Carbon levels have been dropping. That's amazing too. But since everybody's taking the time out, all these other countries have these different stimulus packages and everything else. It's kind of like we're not losing that much footing. We're not going to lose that much footing. Hopefully they can cancel the student loan debt though.
Man, that's the one thing they won't. Because you can't even get rid of that in the bankruptcy. They're like, no.
Who you telling? Bruh, I tried.
Yeah, we just got our water bill yesterday, and it was subsidized by the government. So that was interesting.
Yeah, because of the coronavirus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm curious about the electric.
Yeah, I know.
The electric bill.
So the Yucatan is extremely hot.
It's ridiculous.
And generally people go to the malls, they go to restaurants, people hang out outside of their homes so they don't have to run their AC all day. But since we've been home all day, every day, that AC is on, bro. So I'm scared of this bill.
103, 104, 105 degrees here.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
So
that's why this is not home.
What does it look like in the streets? Like, are restaurants and other stores still open? So like here in the States, restaurants are open for to-go only. So you get your food and leave. You can't sit down and eat anywhere. Are you guys seeing similar there? Like what?
Yes.
Yes. You can order takeout. That's it. Malls are open, or the restaurants are open in the malls, but you can only order takeout. That's it.
Right.
You guys have food delivery down there? Like
yeah. They have Uber Eats here, and then they also have another delivery called Rappi. Yeah, different stores you can call to have things delivered.
And all that stuff still rocking and rolling.
Yeah. I just got a UPS package today. One of my kids in China sent me some masks. Some face masks.
Okay. Y'all got the real deal.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, so that was my next question. So are people wearing masks down there, or is it still
everybody? So the governor, it's mandated that you wear a mask if you leave your house. Yeah. And the police ride up and down the streets. We went to the store Sunday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. The store opened at 7, so we left our house at 6:30 walking. And the police was right behind this guy. He was out on his little walk. I think he was American, a Caucasian American, walking down the street without his mask on. Mask on. What's right behind him, telling him to wear a mask. You need to have your mask on when you leave the house. Only leave the house if you are. What do you call that? If you have to, food, water.
For essentials.
For essential, only leave the house for essentials and wear your mask. We walked 3/4 of a mile, ran into, and we took back routes through streets, through residential streets. Saw no less than 5 police cars with the sirens on at 6:30 in the morning. They ain't playing around here at all.
Wow. So is there any like threat for like economic downfall there? Because like here, that's all over the news. Everybody's talking about economy, businesses going out of business.
Yeah, I mean, this is most of Mexico is working those tourist dollars. You know what I'm saying? They live off that tourist money. And yes, that's been all in their newspapers about the big hit that they're going to take. But there's also optimism in the newspapers. I think that's interesting with their media too. They say it's going to be a heavy hit, but they also say in the same article that they think they'll be able to rebound pretty quickly.
But I think that's also why the governor here has decided to subsidize different utilities for the people. And then there's also really great nonprofit organizations out there that are raising funds, and they're on the ground every day delivering food and supplies to people who need it. So that's really cool to see too.
Wow. Now, one thing I think that's really interesting, and I guess definitely is a blessing for you guys work online, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys teach online, and what else do you do online?
So we run a business, trying to get into drop shipping, but right now we're selling T-shirts and other travel paraphernalia, teaching T-shirts.
Right. So we have it's a shop that we're building up.
At nomadicwonder.etsy.com.
We'll put that on the screen.
T-shirts like this. Yeah. We also do some affiliate marketing, trying to work on writing a book right now. But now, kind of just like you, the times that we're living in, this is unprecedented, man. So we're trying to do some documenting and see what we can, see what packages we can put together for this time, the times that we're living in right now. I just want to take the time to tell people, like, it's a lot of opportunity out here, especially right now. All kinds of online certifications. If you want to just be like, they got people, they pay to check websites to make sure your websites work properly. Google gives tons of free certification online classes. Harvard gives free classes. Yale gives free classes. Just so much opportunity right now where you can come out of this in a better position than when you went in. So that plug.
Do you guys think that if you were still in the States, like with your offline jobs, that things would have still been okay? Because one of the benefits you guys have is the fact that you can work remotely. So like technically you guys haven't shut down. So it's like you still able to—
If anything, we make more money because our children, the Chinese children, they've been out of school since December.
Right. So when they first started going through coronavirus and staying home, we got more bookings because they needed to occupy themselves while they were at home. So that was interesting. Yeah. And they are just
go back to school in May.
Just starting to go back to school in May. So
which is interesting.
You are teaching to like private families who like want they— are you teaching?
Oh, no. We work through
an online platform called VIP Kid, and they have a whole bunch of clientele.
Oh yeah, but it's
they select the teachers. Yeah, one-on-one.
It is one-on-one though, inside these people's homes. Yes.
Okay. That's what's up. So, and I think I have a link for you guys for VIP Kids because you guys have information about that on your site, on your website.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's been able to kind of keep you guys rocking and rolling.
Thank God, yes.
On the real, like, it is so much cheaper to live internationally than it is to live in the United States. You just have, it's unbelievable, yo.
Yeah, as long as you're making US dollars.
As long as you're making US dollars, right.
Break that down for the listeners, because a lot of people don't really understand that, because I've told people like, man, you can make six figures here, go somewhere else and make 20, 30,000 and live the same, if not better.
I made 55K in the States and live decent, you know what I'm saying? Not a big house, not a bad car, anything else, just decent. Mm-hmm. Man, look here, I'm making $20,000 a year. My house is big. I'm living in a 2,000 square foot house right now in Mexico. We're coming out of, all of our bills here, cost of living is like $1,200.
We did a video on our cost of living in Mexico, and it's $1,200 a month for the both of us.
That's
food included.
Food included.
Yeah,
food,
transportation, rent.
That is the bottom line from off of our statement from our bank. That's exactly how much we spend every month. It is unbelievably cheap. So, and that's not just here. Medellin costed us, it was about $1,700 a month. Thailand was, pocket change.
Oh
Thailand, that was the best. That was like $1,000 a month for both of us, rent included in that.
It is interesting because, like you said, we have a 2,000 square foot home here. It has 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. It's like a kind of like a tri-level apartment, and we are paying $450 a month.
Mm-hmm. In rent, with high-speed internet included and everything else. So it's
wow.
Yeah. So
what's the internet out there? Is it the same one they have in the DR? What is it? Claro?
No, what is this one we're using? Telcel's on our phones. I don't know the actual internet service because the landlord pays for it, but it's fiber optics. It is high speed. Yeah, it's really fast.
That's the other thing. A lot of times you find that you get better services outside the U.S., like better internet speed, depending on where you go.
So I was nervous about that. I was really, because we make all of our living on the internet. So yeah, that was in Medellin. It was a little bit shaky. Because it's in the mountains. But shoot, Thailand was head and shoulders above the United States, and the internet that we have here is better than any service I've ever had. So.
Yeah, I love Thailand. When I was there, man, I was just blown up. That's like, I tell people, if it was 16 hours closer, I would live. Like that doggone 24-hour flight, man, that's the whole day.
For real, man, for real. That's where we honeymooned at Thailand, actually. Yeah. I love Thailand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, what part?
Bangkok and Phuket.
Phuket. Yeah, that's what's up. How did y'all end up in Mexico?
We
China?
Yeah.
So we went from China, and we had to get the hell out of China. So we vacationed in China. I was like, all right, baby, let's go to Thailand. But that's what the luxury of working online can do too. It's like, all right, shit, wherever we go, wherever we want to go, we can go. Went to Thailand, kicked it in Thailand. Apryl had a sister who was getting married.
Yeah, my friend was getting married in Colombia. We knew this for a while, so we were like, might as well just spend some time in Colombia since we'll be there. Mm-hmm. So we went to Colombia, spent 6 months there. And we knew that for wherever we were going next, we needed it to be a place that we could kind of settle for a year and where we didn't have to do several visa runs like we had in Thailand.
Our goal for Mexico, we wanted to get closer to the States.
That's true,
so we can we're trying to cultivate 3 other streams of income apart from working online. We want to have 3 steady streams of income coming in, and we're going to be in Mexico until we have all those up and running smooth. Right. We wanted to be close to the States because 2 of our businesses are closely tied to the United States. So we want to make sure everything, in case we got to run over there for a meeting or anything else, we want to just be close to the United States while we get the stuff off the ground.
But Mexico also had a very easy, very relaxed tourism kind of visa. You can, as an American, you can be here for 6 months before you have to leave, and you can literally leave and come back the same day, and that status is restarted.
You did a little Cuba run in. So that's why we stay here too. Like, we're set up to live to spend a long time wherever we are, at least 6 months. We signed a year lease here. Quite frankly, I feel safer here than I think I would be in the United States. I don't feel like I'm exposing. I'm not worried about exposing any old people to any disease or anything. You know what I'm saying? We're self-sufficient here. Whereas if I were in the United States, I know I'd probably be out in the streets doing something. You know what I'm saying? It's just too easy. And I must say, man, I see the people here just are taking it so serious. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, they really care about their elderly. We went to a New Year's party, thought that we was about to get crunk up in there, thought we was about to have a ridiculous time, but it was a whole bunch of people there with their parents and their grandparents. They really take care of their elderly. So this disease, this virus is a big deal. Well, and if you went to the United States, when we left the United States, we left everything. We don't have any furniture, no cars. We probably have to stay with family, and we'd be a burden. I think we'd be a burden in the United States. And whereas when we're here, we're self-sufficient and, living good.
And you guys have been there how long so far?
8 or 9 months now.
Okay.
9 months.
I don't know if it was you guys or somewhere where I saw, because you can get like a 6 month, is it a 6 month visa?
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's like it's not an actual visa, but it's like an allowance, I guess.
You get 6 months before you
80 days or something.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And it's based on the calendar, because I saw somewhere where, like, if you go at the end of the year, then that runs.
That's Colombia.
That's Colombia. That's Colombia.
Colombia?
Yeah. That's Colombia. Mexico is anytime. You got 180 days, leave and come back, you get another 180 days, leave and come back. You can do it endless times, countless times.
Gotcha. Okay. I know you guys mentioned visa runs, so for people watching, that's basically when each country has a certain amount of time you can stay there. So some is 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. So at the end of that time, you have to start over. So like in Thailand, a lot of people would stay there because you get a 30-day visa, stay 30 days, fly to Malaysia, come right back, 30 days, starts over. So that's like a trick that a lot of people who slow travel and travel long-term utilize the visa runs, because I did it when I was out in Asia. I'm like, well, it's day 29, let me get up out of here. I actually overstayed in Thailand one day. It cost me 500 baht. I was like,
oh, they charged you, huh? They got it at the airport.
Yeah. They were like, I was at the airport because in my mind it was 30 days because on Airbnb it was a 30-day booking, but somehow it was 31.
I think they count the day that you arrived too.
They got you for one day though. They got you.
Like 500 bucks. I had to like go get money and come. I was all kind of mad. I was saying all kind of.
Thailand's changed, man. Thailand is really, especially with the virus and everything else. We had a lot of friends that were there, and a lot of our friends left Thailand to go to kind of Vietnam, right? Everybody looked up Vietnam.
One family moved here.
Yeah, another family moved here. Thailand is really trying to tighten up on their tourists for some reason. The king is having to change their heart. I don't know.
You said they're tightening up on tourists?
Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like the tourist visas are harder to extend. Like when we were there, they added a couple little rings you had to jump through to get your visa renewed. So, and as I understand it now, they're tightening up even a little bit more. So.
Yeah, I remember when I took my daughters in 2018. And we were going through immigration, and they were going through somebody's passport, and they were counting. I was like, yeah, this dude had a bunch of runs. I said, why are they counting stamps? Like, they were counting his stamps to Thailand. He was like, 1, 2, 3. I was like, yeah. Homeboy was going back and forth a lot. Like, they're cutting down on that. So you have to kind of, because I know people who start spacing it out. Like, they'll go to Japan for 3 months or something. And
that's how you got to do it.
Kind of like spread it out. Okay, now I'll come back. Dude, you've been here for a year. You know, basically you leave for 3 days, come back, 2 days, come back. So yeah, they're cracking down on that. I
understand though, Thailand's a nice place.
Yeah, I love it. So what's it like being in Mexico, like as people of color? Like, I know it's not like China where they're looking at you crazy because they see more of us, but like, how do you feel in the community?
I feel good, man. We are celebrated, man. I don't want to lead people to any kind of misconceptions. As we travel through this planet, we are celebrated in Paris, in Italy, and in Colombia. Shoot, they thought it was Colombian for a minute. In Colombia, until we opened our mouth. Can't speak the language.
Speaking to your Espanol?
Yeah, man, no, bro. I'm working on it. Un poquito. But yeah, man, we are absolutely a celebrated people everywhere we go. You know, I haven't had any racial issues.
Yeah, no issues. We feel welcome.
I don't want to lie. We got to think about it. I haven't had any. Everybody's very friendly and welcoming. This is a very warm place, and it's kind of interesting because the locals that we meet tell us that people do not like foreigners here, but everyone that we run into is very warm, open, and accepting.
Wow,
so it's pretty cool.
What advice would you have for any newlyweds or people thinking about getting married and traveling? What advice? What would you say to somebody who was thinking about doing it as a couple?
I would say think about what you want to do and start implementing it before you leave. If you want to be an influencer, start building your audience before you leave. If you want to open up a store or a shop, it's just a lot easier to do things when you're in the States in regards to like open up different Instagram accounts or whatever, starting a YouTube page. Start now. Start before you leave and build while you go.
I would add that decide what it is you're looking for in your destination. We are traveling because we want to look for that place that feels like home. And every place that we've been to, we've been able to cross out the list for one reason or another. Like, it's not exactly what
like this place is too damn hot.
It is too hot. I thought the Floridian in me could handle it, but it's ridiculous. Yeah. So I can't. So we know that we need a place that's a bit more mild temperatures. Yeah. So I would say that, like, talk about what you're looking for in a destination. Think about if it's country or if you want a more urban city kind of landscape. Is public transportation important to you? Do you want to be in a place that's really walkable? So what are the things that you're looking for? And I think we've decided that we wanted a place that is walkable. We wanted a place that had really good, reliable internet. We want to live in a place where mailing system isn't convoluted. Like Colombia, there are so many packages that we never received.
Right,
it's just unreliable.
Yes, very unreliable mail.
So just different things that we learn along the way. But I would say talk about those things ahead of time and kind of narrow down your choices based on those facts.
And talk to your mate, talk to your spouse. I'm sorry?
Have you been back to the States since you guys left? Or like, do you come in and out for holidays, or you just like...
April went back for...
So the first time we went back is after Thailand.
Oh, we did go back.
Because we went from Thailand to Colombia, but we stopped in the U.S. for about 2 weeks. I visited family, you visited family.
Shout out to Ron. Shout out Jared. My son's in the state. My son in Atlanta, actually.
So yeah, we visited family then. And then I went back this past Thanksgiving. Because it's my mom's birthday and the holiday.
Yeah. I don't.
About the States?
Can you say it again?
What you miss about the States?
The only thing I miss are stores.
I was about to say shea butter.
I mean, access to different hair products, but I know it's a shame, but like Target, TJ Maxx, Chick-fil-A,
What's interesting, that has been the biggest challenge. So I was very happy that I could order Amazon because, different places have different mail orders, right?
Yeah.
What was it in Thailand? Taobao?
No, that's China.
That was China. Taobao in China.
Lazada. Yeah.
Lazada, yep. But ain't nothing like Amazon. Ain't nothing like, I was so happy we got to Mexico, but I've been ordering up a store. What do I miss? What do we miss? Hot Cheetos?
You get hot
I get my
Cheetos
hot
here.
Cheetos. Yeah, I get my hot
So
Cheetos.
for me, it's just, like when I went back, I just really wanted to go to all these stores because there's just so many little things you can find that you can't necessarily find here. So it's not that big of a deal.
I was gonna say clothes. So I'm an average size dude. I'm like 5'11", 5'11" and 3/4. I give myself 3/4. You know what I'm saying? But finding clothes that fit internationally is a mother. It's a lot more challenging than you think. Like we are some big, broad people, and I'm with like a 30, 33 waist. So I don't have a whole lot of girth, but it's hard for me to find clothes that fit.
I would say in China, normally I am a medium.
Yeah.
In China, double X.
I'm a quadruple XL in China.
Everything was tight.
Yeah.
We could not find our shoe sizes
at all.
Anywhere.
I
any
ordered
of the
shoes
places.
out. Nope. Thailand, China, nope.
Colombia.
And not until we took a trip.
Not even in Colombia?
Shoes.
I did look for shoes in Colombia. Yes, they did not have my size.
Yeah,
No. I got my shoes when we took a trip to Malaysia. I found some shoes that fit and when we did a visa run in Thailand. Yeah, mail order. That's another thing. When I got to Mexico, I ordered me 3 pairs of shoes. 3 Amazon, quick, boom, 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 run that.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing you don't really pay attention to is, like you say, the size. Because I remember like just basic stuff like shoe flip-flops, house shoes.
Yeah.
I can't find anything.
I'm an 11 and a half. That's like the most common size in America. You know what I'm saying? Can't find it out here.
It's like,
Can't find it.
It's like you find some shoes in another country, you got to hold on to. Like, you know what? Let me get 2 of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I can bring them
So
back.
that would be my advice with any young people out there traveling. When you find things that you like while you're out and about, get a lot of it. You find a shirt you like, you better about 4 or 5.
Yeah. I remember in Asia, like I was getting like 2X and even triple X shirts, and like they were still tight. I'm like,
And they're still tight.
I never felt fat until I went to Asia. Like I ain't really that big. I'm like,
Real talk.
oh.
I was like, is this how tall people feel in America? Because this is ridiculous.
Oh, you're so tall. I'm like, yeah, because I'm about the same height. I'm like, yeah, not really. I mean, I'm not short, but
Right.
I can find clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
All my high water, everything, man. My pants, I was flooding every day. My students look at me like, what's up with teacher now? It's all good.
Oh, man. So what other tips or what other things you want the viewers to know about you guys and your travels before we wrap up?
We are a married couple. We're traveling this world. We're doing this thing called slow travel. We take 6 months to a year and go different places. We really are just trying to find that place to call home. We never really believed in the American dream. Our dream is just to travel and experience different cultures. And what we want you guys to know is it is affordable. You can do it. If you want to do it, start digging in. You'll find out that this thing is really affordable. And there are so many different ways to make money independent, location independent. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a dream, make it happen. Check us out. Check our YouTube out. What is that? The Yarbros on YouTube. And we'll be giving different tips and different pointers on how to make money while you live abroad.
All right, where else can they find you online? We'll add it to the video and in the comments.
Oh, perfect. Nomadicwonder.com.
Right. We're on Instagram at nomadic.wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do we have?
Etsy, nomadicwonder.etsy.com. That's it.
Oh, yeah, and our Facebook is the Yarbros Travel Vlog. Something like that.
I know our elevator speech is horrible.
Well, it's all right. You'll find us. So let me ask you this, where are you most on social media? Like
we post regular YouTube videos once a week now. So the Yarbros on YouTube. We're always on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram stories, we're always posting something daily.
So probably too, to get the up-to-date info.
Yeah. I'll be posting. I'm trying to keep up with my blog, man. I'll be posting because this is just so unprecedented, man. The whole world is taking a time out. So I'm going to take this time out to catch up on my blogging.
Because that will eventually be a stream of income for us.
Right.
So we're trying to nurture that baby, our blog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we had the time to get this done because I've been meaning to reach out to you guys for a minute. And since things have somewhat slowed down, I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can get these guys on a confession session.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Because I truly love your story. I'm praying for you guys. You guys find that home. I'll tell you a place that I'm looking at Lima. Have you
Peru.
Peru. It's on our list, partner. Yeah.
I heard the climate is great. Cause like you guys, I'm like, I love Thailand, but it was hot. I'm like, yo, it's hot. They say they have 2 seasons, hot and less hot. Like,
yes.
so cold. I'm like, I need some fall weather, some cold weather. But I heard Lima has good weather and great food. So that's on my, I haven't been there, but cause I went to Panama, thinking Panama might be it, but that ain't it.
Yeah, if you did the Panama too, I was like, yeah,
I'm like, I'm cool. So Lima is like my last shot at hope on this side of the hemisphere, because I really like Bangkok. Because it's like New York, but it's chill. It's weird. It's like hustle and bustle, but chill.
That's exactly what it's like. That's a good correlation. Yeah.
And it's like, I like that. I like the energy of the city, but you know, everybody was kind of, you know, it's chill, laid back. You know, I don't want to be in the country. So
me neither. We're looking at Portugal.
Okay.
And it's just going through that whole Eastern Bloc. But
Eastern
Peru
Europe.
been on my list for a minute. I can't. We might check that out. Peru and Argentina before we head out to Europe.
Yeah. So hopefully, as soon as they open up these borders, Peru is on my list for this year. So I'm saying I'm checking flights. Like y'all.
I'm saying no, man. It's about to be some deals.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Mama, can I go outside?
Well, thanks for reaching out, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for coming on and sharing your story. And I'll include all of your links. We'll put them on the screen, and we'll also put them in the description below. If you guys have any questions, you want to reach out to them, holler at them. They gave you the YouTube channel as well as the Instagram, but we'll include all those links for you. So I want to give a shout out to the Nomadic Wonders. I appreciate you guys.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, until next time, we will see you guys later.
Deuces.